Local Rock Talk with your host, Balza.
Hello everybody, this is Local Rock Talk, and thanks for watching episode 14. And to let you know, I have a co-host. His name is Kyle.
Hi everybody, I'm Kyle Noonan, and we have Seismic Pulse on Local Rock Talk today.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having us.
And in Seismic Pulse we have
Tyler.
Matt, Nora, and Deborah. This is Seismic Pulse. So we're going to ask you a few questions, and let's keep on rocking. All right, so the first question, Balza, what is your first question?
Okay. How did your band start?
Well, Deborah asked me to jam out one day, and we were like thinking about starting a new band and stuff. I was usually a bass player for a long time, and I just recently picked up the guitar, and she actually saw me playing videos on guitar, and she's like, "Oh, it sounds pretty sweet." And then we met up at her house, and then started talking, and then we were thinking about doing a band. And he was coming back from North Carolina, right?
Yeah, coming back from Charlotte.
And so he was going to play drums and stuff, and then that's why we started.
That's sweet. So when you guys got together, you just kind of, you vibed, you connected really well.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's good.
While I was down in Charlotte, they sent me the videos of them playing, so I had already seen what they were playing and what they were working on. So I started, even without a drum set, just started working on beats and stuff like that for when I got here. And then we met up at a practice spot and just started working on stuff that was already written.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So when you guys started writing music, how'd you guys start writing music? Did you start writing music by yourself first, or did you is this your first band?
Well, no, this isn't the first band for any of us.
No.
The songs that we currently have, I actually wrote them roughly 4 or 5 years ago when me and Deborah tried to started a different band that she ended up doing for a while, and then ended up leaving that band. But she still had all the music that I had written, and then essentially we just took those and rewrote the music for it, and then the songs the main ones are for storyline type song arc to them, and the first two we had written, and then the third one I actually had to go back to our old YouTube videos and listen and try to remember what the words were, but most of it I ended up having to just rewrite anyways. And then the last song, I wrote about half of it, and then Nora, when we got her on board, finished writing the rest of it.
That's awesome.
And also, I remember playing bass for a while ago, and then I remember playing bass, I write these songs, I'm like, oh, I wonder a little bit like what it sounds on guitar. And when I pick up the guitar, started learning that, I got to hear the songs from the guitar standpoint, and I always show them to these guys too, and then we start writing songs.
So when you guys write music, do you help each other out, since you also play guitar too? Do you come up with some riffs and you're like, oh, you should play this, and maybe we can try doing this? Do you guys do that?
I come up with a lot of riffs at times or songs, and I just show to these guys, and they help me create, Deborah's more I'm more kind of like a right brain, and she's more the left brain. It's structuring, and Tyler helps me with the timing, and Nora helps out with the lyrics, and
So you guys all fit together really well. That's
Yes.
good. That's good.
All right. Okay. All right. Where is best venue you played at?
We've only had one show right now so far.
This far, but we do have a couple of shows actually coming up. One at a venue that we've already played at, the Raven in Worcester, and then that's September 2nd, and on September 4th we're going to be playing at the Middle East.
Also a great venue.
I remember there was another band by Jam before called Carbon Stone. We did a lot of shows. One of my actually favorite venues is actually Sammy's Patio in Revere, because it's a cool local metal scene, which I really love. I really love the bands that play there, and Dante, great guy who runs it, and Sammy's the guy who runs the bar, is really great. I did actually play the Middle East with Carbon Stone once, and a couple times. It was pretty cool, and we actually played upstairs Palladium, which was kind of cool, because I thought actually because it was kind of cool sharing. I know this was probably back when there were early days. I remember Killswitch Engage actually played the upstairs show. Well, I wasn't there obviously, but they did play the upstairs show, so it was kind of cool to
like a
see
good
like
feeling
it's
to be on
the same stage as like one of my favorite bands of all times.
Yeah,
But that was early days before I listened to them though. So
Palladium's it's a good venue. I've been going there
Oh,
since
I
I was
love
a little
Palladium.
kid. Yeah,
It's
it's a
awesome.
great venue.
really
Great for
awesome.
local bands. They have a lot of shows for like Battle of the Bands, like all the local
Yeah,
bands
we
come
did.
together.
Carbon Stone
Yeah.
did that, and also New England Metal Fest is pretty
Oh
awesome.
yeah, that's a good festival too.
That's a great festival.
So, if you can tell like a younger audience who's like just starting to like get into playing music, how does it feel playing a live show? Like what does it feel like?
You can't beat the rush.
Can't beat the rush.
Like the second you're gonna be anxious as anything when you first get on stage. Like you're gonna feel your gut drop. It's gonna hit your shoes and then come right back up. Because the second it does that, your adrenaline's gonna kick in and you're just gonna sit there, whether you're on drums, guitar, singing, your initial thought's gonna be like, I got this. I'm gonna be the best one here, You're just gonna get that rush of adrenaline. You're just gonna know that you can do it, and then you're just gonna build yourself right back up from where you were.
Well, it's also just, I don't know, it's all fun, It's just like, I honestly have fun when I'm on stage. That's why I love playing music. And it's like, I feel like it's my time to get to express myself. And it's kind of like a bummer because I always feel like it goes really too fast. And like, I'm always like super critical. I'm like, oh, I could always play better and stuff. But like, it's always like, I always can't wait for the next show to be like, oh, wait, I can't wait to do better and stuff.
And you can act weird without people thinking you're weird.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I do that
That's a
anyway.
good way to put it. Alright, so it's up to you, Ben.
Okay. Alright, let's do this one. What is some of the music you grew up listening to?
Oh, well, my background's mainly started back in high school. It was like mainly just hip hop and rap and all that stuff. I didn't actually start listening to rock or anything like that until I got into high school and I actually met people who did listen to it. And I really didn't get into anything metal until like late high school. And so my main influences are kind of like pop and punk style stuff. Like when I first started playing bass, my main influence was Sid Vicious. He was one of my favorite bassists to listen to, and just how outgoing he was with everything he did and how ridiculous he was about it. And he essentially didn't care what people thought about him. And he just played. And then after a while, when I got into drums, I started listening to more, heavier stuff to kind of branch out and add more effects to my drumming.
I remember when I was like, actually, I think first grade, I was listening to Tupac. But then actually, it was my sister and my brother actually got me into more rock music. Like, I started listening to like, Incubus, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Tool, Led Zeppelin, and then like all the classic and alternative rock stuff, like such as like, like AC/DC, Audio Slave, Soundgarden, that type of stuff. And then I got into more metal stuff too. Like I started with like, I listened to Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, and Black Sabbath a little bit. And then I got into more the heavier extreme metal when I heard Killswitch Engage and The Heartache, and I really was the first heavy metal band. And I remember my first actually big metal show was with Killswitch, Trinium, As Lay Dying, and I think War was there. It was during Sounds of the Underground.
War is one of my favorite bands.
Yeah, they were sweet.
So good.
And so ever since then, I labeled myself as a metalhead. I listen to like stuff from anything from Pentagram to Laurel Thunder to like Avenged Sevenfold and Bless the Fall, and Sorry, didn't speak
good.
right.
It's all good, man. Let's see. So do you have any advice for a younger audience who's just starting to get into music with playing? Some people, they start to play and they're like, oh, it's so hard, I can't really get into it. Like, what is some advice to give them to just keep pushing on, to like just do what you like doing?
Really just don't stop doing it, because when I left the band I started her 4 or 5 years ago, I didn't do any music whatsoever afterwards. Like I spent all the time working and just pretty much not doing anything music-wise, and it was one of the worst feelings because it was one of my passions, and if you're truly passionate about it, you don't want to give up on it, because if you give up on a passion, you're pretty much giving up a part of your own existence. So you want to keep doing it, keep pushing yourself harder and harder, because every day you wake up, you can be better at something. And if you're going to get better at the instrument you're playing, then that's what you're going to get better at that day.
And also, I think the most important is to do it for fun, and it's also do music that you love doing, whether it's like metal, punk, rock, pop, hip hop, or whatever. You know, do music that you go feel passionate about and you feel inspired, or you feel like you just like playing. You know, it's like music is a self-centered thing, so you should be allowed to be self-centered and play music that you love doing. You know, don't play music wherever you think it's cool or like what it's a big thing. You know, just do music because you want to express yourself, and that's the most important thing.
That's a good way to put it, because there's always going to be people who are going to be like, oh, I don't like this band, this isn't my style. But hey, it's what you enjoy
It's art,
doing.
you know.
It's
art.
art.
It's, you know,
art is the best way to express yourself.
Well,
music is art.
Art is also, there's no definition in art.
Oh
you know,
yeah,
so
there is no
someone
definition
else's
of
art
art.
could be, you know, it's different.
All right. More questions. When did you first started playing music? Are you self-taught or did you take classes?
I started doing music 5th grade, and it was because our 5th grade, the middle school I was at had a program that during the special classes like gym and stuff like that, once a week you would go off to another room, the auditorium, and you'd learn an instrument and stuff like that. And I started with the trumpet, then I went to saxophone, before finally in 8th grade I was like, I can't do any of that, I'm going to go to percussion. And really I followed mainly in my older brother's footsteps, because he started playing drum set, and then that initially sparked me as like, oh, I want to do that because it looks like fun, it looks cool to do. So I started doing drums, and then from there I just pretty much, once I was able to actually play a drum set, I just worked as hard as I could to pretty much teach myself how to continuously play it, and then that's pretty much it with drums. With bass I took lessons for a little bit, but then after that it's just strictly drum set.
I guess actually it was funny because I remember when I was in elementary school, I did play trumpet, but I don't know why. I wasn't passionate at all, so it's like, eh. I remember like I started playing bass guitar in high school, where I really, really liked music, and also I had an older sister, where actually her name is Lisa Coinge. I think she's been in a bunch of indie bands. Like she was on Nigger on Roller Skate, she was also on Easy Reasons, and like I always see her live shows, and so I grew up with a music family kind of, like she was like into singing and playing guitar, and like so I kind of like got into music. I started playing music because I really wanted to play it because I really loved it, and I actually took lessons. And by the way, if you're in the Woburn area, you should check out Performance Music Center and have Joe Paul teach you, because that guy's the man. Joe Paul, you're the man. He taught me everything on bass. He was actually one of the greatest teachers I ever had, because he's like really good with like teaching you how to instrument. He knows how to push you, but he also knows how to like encourage you too. So he's a very, very awesome guy. So he taught me a lot on bass and guitar. So I really appreciate what he did.
Sweet, that is awesome. What is your main goal for your band? Where do you guys see yourself in the future?
Hopefully headlining tours and doing stuff like that. Mainly, I know for me, doing the band is mainly a sense of enjoyment. Like I really enjoy being in a band. It's something I'm passionate about. Being able to play with not only family members but friends as well. Like it's just,
Thanks, man.
it's like, it's a big confidence booster. Like it makes me really feel like I can really do a lot more than I tend to give myself credit for. So it's kind of just that initial drive that helps me get through each day.
That's awesome.
Some guys are like, a lot of bands would be like, oh, this is a career, we got to take it as a business. I just do it for fun. It's rock and roll, It's like, also I do it, like I said before, to express myself, and also like meeting new people with music. It makes me feel like, I can connect with people more, and well, just to have fun. Obviously we take it seriously. We want to play like as live shows. We want to give the best we can and play decent. Obviously, but I just personally try to have fun with it, because that's if you're not doing it for fun, then why do it? Because honestly, you make no money on it anyway. So.
This one. If you can choose your dream lineup, what bands and artists would you be playing with?
Can I make 2 lists?
If you want to make 2 lists, go
All right,
ahead
I'm
and
going
make
to
2
do
lists.
2
fine.
lists. I'm going to do 2 lists. So for classic metal, it would be Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, and Judas Priest, and bring Lenny and Dio from Back to Bed, have them opening. And I would say if for like newer metal, it'd probably be Killswitch Engage. As Lay Dying will maybe get a new lead singer, but let's not get into that. Oh man, oh god, this is tough. Insidium, my new favorite band, love Insidium, and Creator. And probably like every, I can name 1,000. I don't know, man.
It's a difficult question.
It is.
All right. That was a good question.
It was. That was a good one. Yeah.
I could
Sure
name a
was.
ton more, but we take up.
What equipment do you guys use for like a live set? Like what kind of guitars do you use? What are your amps? Do you have any pedals?
That's how our band was
How
named.
our
Yeah, our
Band
band
name?
name came from our equipment, actually.
Yeah, it really did.
What is it?
My bass cab is Seismic
Yeah.
audio.
And isn't the heads on my
The
bass
drum
guitar?
is Pulse.
The drums are Pulse.
So
And
that's
it's
the band
essentially-
name.
That's actually a really creative name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool. I like
originally
that.
when we were trying to think of a name, like we have our Facebook chat, and they were all constantly putting out, metal sounding names, but every time I read one, it was that cliche
Generic.
metal name. Like people will look at it and be like, oh, well, yeah, metal.
Hey, I never
But
said I was good at band names.
It just seemed like the same as everybody else.
Yeah.
So we literally just kept going back and forth, and then at one point, John, our manager, he essentially saw the cab and the bass drum and kind of just pointed at both of them.
Yeah,
and was
I sat on the computer
"Seismic
looking,
and
Pulse."
Pulse, and we were just like,
Seismic Pulse.
sold.
Good dog.
Sold.
It works.
And we all agreed on it. And it was like, that sounds good.
Doesn't sound like anything else I've heard so far, so it works.
Sound pretty sweet.
Green Jello.
Yeah.
Green Jello. That's a sweet metal name.
I remember one of my old
Oh, yeah.
bands, literally the drummer wanted to name Jimmy Green. I'm like, no. That was an old band. That was a long time ago.
Where can they hook up your band websites plus more?
Facebook.
You guys
Facebook,
got a
yeah.
Facebook, Twitter.
Just
Yeah.
searching Facebook. Right now, all we have is mainly Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Just Seismic Pulse. We have a few videos up there of us in a practice space, us doing some recording stuff, things like that. Don't have Twitter or Instagram or anything like that right now. Maybe at
Do
one
you guys
point.
plan on getting a Twitter or Instagram?
Maybe
Or
at
getting
one
more-
point. Once we get like
Let's think about it.
doing more
Yeah.
pictures and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and that would be where Instagram would be, and doing
Maybe more
recordings and stuff
music
like that.
too. Maybe.
Yeah.
So how's the fan base so far? Since you guys have just Facebook.
Oh, well, we just started out though
Yeah.
too. It's like we don't really have a big fan base. As of
When
right
did you
now.
guys start out? Like when did you actually become a full band?
Probably about a year ago.
Yeah, almost a year
About a year
ago.
ago.
Around
Yeah, roughly-
September last year,
Yeah, around
2016.
September last year.
Although I didn't actually join until February of this
Yeah.
year.
Yes.
What is your music influence?
That's another tricky question.
Yeah.
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 Probably gonna mention the same bands.
We all, yeah, like you said, we all have like different.
Well, he listens
styles.
to a lot of pop stuff, so he comes up with the pop beats. I bring the metal riffs. And I remember, like, I don't know. For me personally, it's like I just bands like Killswitch Engage, Metallica, even like Iron Maiden and Insidium. What I like about those bands, they're heavy, but they're melodic at the same time, and obviously like breakdowns and guitar solos. So it's just like I try to keep an open mind with type of music too, and I feel like all of us are pretty diverse with music tastes and stuff.
Yeah, for me with drums, it kind of like go back to like the olden days, Fall Out Boy and stuff like that. The dancey beats kind of make you want to kind of jump up and move around a whole lot. And then, but being in a metal band, I kind of try to incorporate all of it together. So like you got like the heavy cymbals with that beat going at the same time, and then every so often in certain choruses or verses, I'll throw in some double bass pedal work as well to kind of give it a little, still with the same like concept of dancey, but still giving you that kind of like, you want to like headbang to it as well, not just kind of like jump around and move.
Also, I don't think we're a super technical band. Like, we just go by feel mostly, and it's also just a lot of energy, I feel like. And it's also, I try to like do a rhythm. So with my guitar riffs, I try to do rhythm and lead, well, kind of like melodies at the same time. Give it like a melodic feel, but still very heavy and stuff.
So how are the vocals in your band? Like, what kind of vocal range or vocal style do you guys have?
She does screams and she does clear vocals. You two can talk about that.
So how long have you guys
Heavy
been
and light.
singing?
Yeah. I'd say it'd be maybe like 4 or 5 years.
I feel like I've probably been singing essentially all my life, but in terms of like composing or anything along those lines, probably since I was about like 12-ish, 13.
That's awesome. So what kind of style do you have in your vocals? If you can describe that.
To be honest, I'm not really sure.
Not really sure.
Kind of play around with like different stuff. I mean, I definitely like a lot more of metalcore like sounding vocals and like adding in some higher notes and kind of attempting to input that within like some of the songs that we're
That's
gonna
awesome.
continue to write.
That is sweet.
Cool. If you can describe the glare of the music you play, what would it be?
The genre of your music.
Genre? Okay.
To keep it simple, we would just classify it as metal.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of what we do is based off feel. We don't try and generalize it to a specific style because a lot of because again, we have different influences and most of our songs come together from us just jamming. Like Matt will come up with something on guitar and he'll just repeat it over and over again, and I'll just sit there, listen to it, and then just start playing something, and then she'll put something on bass, and then we'll just refine it and make it all fit together and be able to mold it into an actual song.
Also, we like to keep an open mind, you know. We just don't want to be trapped into like, I know metal has a lot of genres, and we can get on there with that, but like
All the subgenres.
subgenres,
Yeah.
maybe like you can thread the needle type of still, but like we just, because I feel like sometimes some bands want to stick, like a lot of new bands are like, oh, we should just stick with metalcore, but it's good to like branch out a bit, you know, and get some old school influences, some new, you know, just mix it up a bit. Don't be afraid to like, you know.
Now, for appearance, for like live performances, do you guys have like a certain like style? Do you guys dress the same? Do you just like dress however? Do you have like a signature thing, like a hat or shirt?
I think I'm particularly not fond of like cameras or seeing anyone like seeing my face too much. So basically, I just wear like either a bandana or a face mask or something along those
So
lines.
that's like your signature thing.
I
That's
think,
cool.
yeah.
For her,
Just stand out a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think we're in the works of getting us all just matching face
Yeah.
masks to wear
That'd be
on
sweet.
That'd be sweet.
to the
Yeah.
on stage.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Sometimes I have to admit, like, it's kind of silly. Sometimes I do think about an outfit, but like, I don't stress about it. I just
should wear a
be
cape.
myself. I just be
Just all in
myself, you
jumpsuits
know.
like Slipknot.
But sometimes, well, what I like to do is like I like to wear some local band tees to represent the local guys and girls and stuff, and like, you know, like
Where's your shirt say?
it's Lost to the Waves. Saw them at Sammy's patio. They're sweet.
Nice shirt. Nice shirt. You should definitely wear a cape. I remember the guitarist of Killswitch Engage wore a cape one time. I saw.
Yeah,
I
we
feel
could
like you
start
should
doing
definitely do
Well,
that.
they might get mad at me because you know,
Just put a pulse on it.
depends.
yeah, just
Could be
Yeah.
happy.
just put a
Could be
pulse
pulse
wave.
size.
Yeah, just put a pulse
Because
wave on it. You know.
last band I was in, they're like, well, you gotta take it serious. You gotta take it serious. I'm like, oh, sometimes I did
Never
want.
take
You
it
gotta have
serious.
fun when you have a
Yeah.
live
Yeah,
show.
I know,
You guys
exactly.
all wear capes. With
Sometimes
like a
I think
logo
for a
of your
Halloween
band on
show,
it.
Yeah.
sometimes I think for a Halloween show we should go dress up either Ninja Turtles or Power Rangers.
Ninja
Definitely
Turtles.
Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
I'll do
Ninja
so. I'll
Turtles
do
all day.
Ninja Turtles. That'll be sick.
I'll be Raphael.
Okay, so-
I'll get drumstick size. You know.
Who do you
What
think you
Ninja
are?
Turtle would you be if you had to
You're
be
not
Ninja
going to be
Turtle?
Raphael.
I'm
No.
Raphael.
Who's the
I'm
orange
Raphael
dude?
sweater.
Raphael.
We can
No, the
celebrate
orange
this
is
later.
Michelangelo.
even know.
I am the real life version of Michelangelo.
Yeah, you get.
I
You,
am
you're you
Michelangelo.
can definitely be Mike.
I am
You
definitely
can be Mikey.
Michelangelo.
That's fine.
And maybe a little bit of Raphael because I have an anger problem sometimes. But
Call Raphael. Right.
It's Raphael.
Raphael.
Whatever.
Yeah.
When you guys do live performances, do you guys cover like any music, or is it just all original?
All original.
All original.
I feel like if you do covers, sometimes people know when you mess up.
Yeah.
The original music.
I guess
They
so.
don't
That's a
know.
good point. So how many songs have you guys written so far with Seismic Pulse?
5.
We have 5, and then between Matt and I so far, we are like, I guess, in the works of writing one more
Yeah.
song, and then gonna.
I do have
it
a
full
couple
circle.
more songs. Oh, I'm sorry.
Good.
I interrupt you. I'm sorry. But I did have songs I've been written on guitar for a while to like. I want to show them too.
Now, do you guys have like an EP? Are you guys working on like a record or anything?
We're working on getting our songs going. At first, we're just gonna do concept album, with just our 4 first songs, since they all go together to tell a story. So essentially, all those ones are essentially our main focus on trying to get just like kind of like a demo type concept album to hand out to people, so people can actually, go home and actually listen to it and get more into it. Because it's one thing to hear it at a live show, but then to be able to listen to it over and over again, you kind of get more feel of it. Like you may have missed certain things within the songs, and it's just so you can hear every little aspect of it.
Yeah, one band I listen to that has that aspect in their music is Between the Buried and Me.
Nice.
Their music has a good storyline to all their albums. Like if you listen from the first song to the last song on any of their albums, you can listen and it'll tell a story.
Yeah.
So that's really cool that you guys want to do that, because not a lot of bands really do that. They just kind
Yeah.
of put out random.
There's 2
random
records I
songs.
really like. One by Queens by Operation Minecon, which is one of my favorite records of all time. It has an awesome story to it, and just I mentioned earlier, Insidium has this cool new album that came out, I think last year, called Winter's Gate, and it's awesome. And it's really, really epic, really cool. It has a cool story to it.
Now, do you guys have like a band camp? Do you guys plan on getting a band camp to throw your music up there?
Probably once we start getting those recordings and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
That'd be cool. Do you guys have any ideas for merch or anything like that? Shirts?
We're not.
Once we get a little bit more of a bigger fan
Yeah.
base.
Yeah, we're not fully at that point
Yeah.
yet. We're just mainly focusing on the music aspect and getting that out there and getting a little more known.
Yeah, well, I also had some T-shirt designs in my head. Like I will show them probably later. It's like I actually recently graduated from Middlesex with a graphic design career.
That's awesome.
I mean degree. Sorry. Anyway, so I have nothing else to do in my time,
Yeah,
so
that's close
I come up with some band stuff ideas. I'm like, how do you feel? But also John does graphic design work too, so we kind of But I think
you guys work together. You guys
Just bounce
come together.
ideas back.
Yeah,
Yeah, bounce
that's
ideas
good.
back and
It's good to
forth.
bounce
It's
ideas.
a democracy.
It's good to be creative. Now, if you can have like a funny lineup of just like a joke that you guys can play with random bands, what bands would those be?
Psycho Stick.
Oh, Psycho Stick is awesome.
Oh yeah.
It's hilarious.
Oh, I love them.
Oh,
God.
let's see. If it can I bring some people back to the dead?
From the dead.
From
It's
the
not
dead.
really possible, but if you
Well, what if
you
we have
could,
powers
if
to
you
do it?
could,
Oh, okay, if I could, it would be Tupac and see,
That'd
I've
be
got
awkward.
one band I really love. It's Drive By Truckers. I'm just gonna mix it up, and I'm just gonna see how it works. And Black Flag with Henry Rollins, and what else? How about the Gorillas?
Yeah.
Why not? Just mix it up and just see.
Really so sweet. You're right there. Questions, positive?
And Tom Petty.
Tom Petty.
Yeah.
Tom Petty is sweet.
He's awesome.
All right, so we put no more questions on here or something? Well, why don't we just talk for a little bit?
I don't mind talking.
What kind of guitar do you use?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I remember one of my closest friends, awesome guy, for Christmas one year he surprised me. I picked him up at his house. He had this box. I'm like, what is this? And he's like, oh, I got you a guitar. I'm like, oh man. He got me a Dean guitar with snakes on it. It looked really freaking cool. It was
Cool.
it was oh man, he spent $200. I'm like, oh dude, why did you do this to me? Well, I'm grateful he did it. He's an awesome guy for doing it, but I feel so bad he spent that much money on me. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, I have a Jackson, the Floyd Rose,
Sick.
and it's just super complicated to put new strings on it. I snapped a string the other day, so it got me really sad. I also have a Schecter Diamond Series, and I have the EMG pickups.
Cool.
And I play through my computer, and I have Cubase and guitar rig, and I have 2 little monitors, and that's how I record all my music. I got like 1,000 presets for like different tones for my guitars.
Oh man, that's a lot.
So I just sit there, I just play with tones all day.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out my tones right now because I'm always, I just try to keep it simple. Sometimes my Marshall amp will do weird noises during band practice, and they'll all get mad at me.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and then
Get some squeals going every so
Got the
often. He stops
squeals.
playing, just bing.
oh my god.
Hey, some of the crowds kind of like that sound,
Yeah.
that rawness.
Kind of like Black style.
Yeah, that's cool. It's always good. So you said you had a pulse drum set, right? How many drums do you have in your set? Like,
I got 2 bass drums, the snare, 3 toms, then 5 cymbals, and then the hi-hat.
awesome. So what kind of cymbals do you use?
Belgian.
Zildjian? Yeah,
Zildjian.
Zildjian. It's her drum
Mine
set.
was
I
that.
just use it.
And
She
what
bought
kind of pedals do you have for your drum set?
Iron Cobras.
Yeah,
Yeah, my brother uses Iron Cobras. Very nice. I've messed with them a little bit, but like I said, not really a drummer.
I'm looking into the ones
Yeah,
that
I got 2 drum sets.
yeah, I'm personally looking into other double bass pedals that are the pedals are a bit lower to the ground, and it's kind of like a metal holders instead of the chain ones.
That's awesome. Yeah, that'd be sweet. I've seen those. I haven't seen anybody use them. I've seen them like online.
I used them once in high school, and that was a kid's
How'd
drum
they
set that he
feel?
brought to school. For me personally, it feels like I can move a lot quicker because it's less of a distance you have to push it down for the pedal to make it to it. And the pedal will still bounce back as far because the pedal will still come up as high as the mallet pushes back. It's just that it stays at when it's resting, it's just closer to the drum head than the normal one. So instead of being like tilted back, it's more of like a straight angle.
I like that. So we have Seismic Pulse here. Do you guys have anything to say to the audience that you want to talk about your band? Anything that we haven't covered here in local Rock Talk?
We can Kelly's mentioned the upcoming shows for
Oh
sure.
yeah, when are your upcoming shows and where are they?
September 2nd at the Raven in Worcester. I believe doors open at 6? 7? 7.
You know the lineup for that show?
My White Sky, I think, is headlining.
My White Sky.
6
6 Foot Silence. Trading Heroes for Ghosts.
Yeah.
Potentially Fathom Farewell, I think.
That'd be sweet. And
And
what other
then-
shows you guys have coming up?
The show after that would be September 4th in the Middle East in Cambridge, and doors open at 6, and that's for sure with N Elysium and Fathom Farewell. Not sure who the other 2 bands are. And then we have a couple more coming up in the fall.
That's awesome. So you heard it from Seismic Pulse. They have 2 shows coming up at the Raven and the Middle East downstairs. Paul, do you have any questions for Seismic Pulse?
Can't think of none, so.
Well, that's what we have for today.
Yep.
This is Local Rock Talk. This is Seismic Pulse.
Thank you
We
for
got-
having us.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
And keep on rocking out and support.
Keep on rocking
Awesome.
out. We got
Keep
Paul's
on
your
rocking, man.
host, and I'm
Yep.
Kyle, your co-host, and I'll see you guys around.
Cool.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Local Rock Talk, Local Rock Talk with your host, Balza.
Thanks for watching Local Rock Talk. See you next time.